This video is going to make you feel like you're getting a crisp high five and an even crispier salad. Hey, what's going on YouTube? In case you couldn't tell by the title of this video, it's a breakdown of the news that we've been getting recently, the breakdown of the trailer, and having a closer look at the posters of the videos. So, like I said, it's going to give you the feeling that you're going to get a crisp high five because we know you like that snap and a crisp salad, and because salads are healthy. I'm trying to be healthy. I'm trying to be healthy in my life right now. The food that I'm eating, and I'm still not going to the gym. I'm hella lazy, but I play Just Dance. Burns calories, I don't know how well, but whatevs, cool. But before I jump into this breakdown of all this information that the trailer and the posters are giving us, if you could please leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, notification bell. But as I always say, you should probably like and comment after the video is done so you know if you like it. Because if you don't, I mean, that's a problem, but don't hit the dislike, just like, you know, just leave a comment saying why you don't like it. So first things first, out of the bat, we kind of see that the grass is actually looking a little bit cleaner than we did see it last time in the other trailer. So I'm assuming some time has actually gone by since that part of the trailer where you see that overshot view. And the opening lines from Banner and Rhodey,
"We'd be going in short-handed."
Yeah, you mean because he killed all our friends?
Make it seem as though they've got some sort of like haphazard plan where they're just gonna go and take on Thanos, which seems completely crazy as they have less people than they did before everyone else got decimated. I mean, to be fair, they could be having a completely different conversation. These Banner and Rhodey may not even be a connected conversation, but the editing makes it look like that. Also, it's really a good touch is this is Widow talking about at least having to try.
We owe this to everyone who's not in this room to try.
And do that. They're there to avenge, which kind of reminds me of where in the previous trailer when Captain America says,
Because I don't know what I'm gonna do if it doesn't.
Because it has to work. So with everything being 20 minutes at the beginning of the movie, all of this seems to fall in line that they're gonna do something very drastic. And more about the line about what's been lost and what they have left.
It's not about how much we lost. It's about how much we have left.
Is a really great line about showing really and truly, I think, the growth that Tony Stark as a character has had in the MCU, going from the completely selfish person who doesn't really think beyond the money and the fame and the infamy that he's built up over the years, into this person that actually thinking about the sacrifice and what he needs to do to continue his legacy, but in a more selfless rather than selfish manner. Speaking of Tony Stark, this armor, I believe it's the Mark 80 armor, is very reminiscent of how we used to look in the comics, at least in the color design. It's a very strong red and gold look. And speaking of the old school look, that New York skyline is looking pretty bright and fresh and nice looking. It doesn't look like everyone's just been dusted away. I'm thinking that this is possibly them going into the past. I mean, that's a lot of the rumors going by, but that's what I honestly feel is going on here. With the old armor probably looking at Avengers Tower, or rather at the time, Stark Tower before it becomes Avengers Tower. And then what we have now is Rocket and Nebula.
It's not about how much we lost.
For me, probably the most touching scene or clip that you will see in this trailer, only rivaled by something that I will mention later. But what's crazy about this is that if you look at it, this moment has to be the first time that Rocket finds out what's happened with the other Guardians. Peter, Drax, Mantis, and Gamora as well. They all disappeared on Titan because of Thanos, and Thanos killed Gamora, or unalived her. And Thanos basically unalived Gamora. And obviously Nebula finds out that Groot has been unalived, and obviously Nebula finds out that Groot has been dusted away as well. Now, to be perfectly honest, these characters aren't really known for their touchy-feely emotional sides, but we did get quite a bit of that with Rocket when he's talking to Drax, and a bit of when he's talking to Peter about his life before he met up with the Guardians. And like, the Guardians are basically his family, as we really get to grips with them. We see that in Guardians Galaxy 2 about how he feels about them and that he's happy. And Nebula as well, while she's probably not close to all of the other Guardians, but we know that all she really wanted was to have her sister, and she got it. And then the moment they kind of reconcile in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, not long after that, her sister gets unalived by their dad. And that's some pretty touching stuff when you look at it in that manner. So this scene here, especially if it's the first 20 minutes of the movie, it's the beginning of this movie is going to be highly emotional if you really look at the history behind it. Now, Clint's new tattoo, aka Hawkeye, aka Ronin, I find that very interesting because if you look at the tattoo that's on the armor or whatever armor it is, you'll see a picture in this area here. It's a skull inside of what looks to be samurai armor. Now, if all the rumors and my hopes come true, this would lead to the Japanese origin, I guess you could say, of the character of Ronin. And a Ronin basically is a samurai or a ninja without a master. I can't remember the exact meaning behind it, but that's basically what it is. So maybe this translates, if he is the Ronin character, he's gotten this tattoo piece to relate to the fact that he is a father and a husband without a family, aka without masters, I guess you could say. So that's something that I believe this tattoo could relate to, or it could just be a nice cool tattoo piece he got while he was probably in Japan or drunk in Cancun on someone's getaway. Also, I think this is actually the first time we see him with other Avengers. Yes, I know that you don't see any Avengers on the scene with him on that shot, but that looks like they're in the Avengers compound that all the other Avengers seem to be in, and all the other all the other Guardians that we see. I presume that they are there. Obviously, I don't mean Widow because we've seen him there, but I mean with the other superheroes that are now on Earth. Also, what the hell is this going on here with the handshaking and the trusting?
You trust me? I do.
I'm not trusting this going on right now because you've got Tony asking Cap, do you trust me? And then when they shake hands, it looks a little different because that abdomen area, abdomen, whatever, you know what I'm talking about. That area looks a little like a shade of red, very shade of red, not blue. It doesn't even look like a dark blue that could be like Cap's Winter Soldier or even Civil War or even Infinity War outfit. It looks red, a very deep shade of red, which reminds me of Ant-Man. What trickery is this, Russos? Russo! Also, in this scene, keeping it above the abdomen area, this actually looks like New York. It very much so like New York in the Battle of New York, again, going with the past possibly. This looks, the suit also looks not very complete. It looks very CG'd, like very, very harshly CG, just coming up out of nowhere. And I'm thinking this is some CGI trickery going on right here, that it's actually the young Steve Rogers, Captain America, and the older Tony Stark asking, do you trust me in this scene as far as that is concerned? Saying that's real and not Ant-Man anyway. So I think that's what's going on here, is that it's young Steve and old Tony talking to each other, trying to formulate a plan for the Battle of New York. Then we have the crew on the Benatar. Benatar. I don't know what it's called, but it's a ship. You see pretty much everyone there. You got Rocket, you got Thor, not wearing a seatbelt because you know what, he's a badass. You got Captain Marvel, who is wearing a seatbelt, and you got Rocket piloting the ship. I think it's really cool that you have the actual two pilots piloting and co-piloting, which is really cool. Captain America being safety cautious and wearing his seatbelt as well, which is awesome. You should not, definitely should not ever let him fly any type of ship, because the last time he did that, he ended up being frozen for about 70 years. And looking further into this, if we look at our hair clock, we've got Widow. Her hair is actually still the short blonde. So this leads me to believe that this is very, very soon after Infinity War, when they've just gotten back to Earth and they're like, you know what, we need to do something. And that's what they go out and do. They formulate this plan to go back out and find Thanos. And you know what, things go down. Things go down. And I know you're probably thinking, wait, why are you looking at this person's hair and using it as a timer? Because her hair is changing in these trailers. That shows a clear passage of time. It makes perfect sense to have the short blonde hair, then as time goes by, the hair is getting longer, you have the different hairstyles with the plaits, which you see at the gun range part, and then the other part of that is when her hair is getting longer, you see more red, and the tips are blonde. Clearly, time is passing within these trailers, so the question is, how much time is passing within the first 20 minutes of the movie? If that is actually right. Now we get to this part where I said what rivals the most touching scene.
You could not live with your own failure.
And I think what makes this scene incredibly touching is the voiceover done by Thanos. You see Tony looking at a picture of himself, Bane, and Peter Parker for the Stark Industries grant or whatever it was, student acceptance thing, whatever it was called, can't remember. But you see this picture and then you have Thanos saying, "Your failures led you back to me." Of course, I'm paraphrasing, but I think that's very interesting, that it's touching, because Tony Stark feels very, very responsible for what happened to Peter at the end of Infinity War, aka being decimated. And I think that was done absolutely on purpose. Like, not even just for the trailer. I think it's for those who paid strong attention to that emotional connection that Tony Stark and Peter had in Homecoming and what they had in Civil War. Also, even further to that, in Infinity War, they had that very close connection as well. That voiceover really makes that clip, that by itself would have been, oh, that's really sad, but the voiceover literally pushes it over the edge. However, based on that, I do doubt that this line will be in the movie itself, or at the very least, how it's said in the trailer. I think they may do it differently, and they've done this before in the similar lines with you can run from it, you can hide from it, but destiny always arrives. Or whatever he says. I'm gonna catch a clip here and then you can have it.
Dread it. Run from it. Destiny still arrives.
On the other side of this though, being led back to Thanos with his failures and so on, I really believe, I'm sticking to my guns about this. I think they're going to get Thanos to help them reverse everything. For some reason, I don't know what it is. There are a number of things that it could be, but I'm sticking to my guns. You heard it here first. The Avengers and Thanos will team up in some form or fashion to stop a bigger enemy. And speaking of Thanos, what I find interesting is that when he was appearing, I don't know what he was doing, he was appearing in a blue light. Now, I initially thought in my reaction video that this was the Space Stone. However, upon looking at other videos when he's using the Space Stone, he creates basically this wormhole cloud thing, and you see it numerous times when he uses the Space Stone in the movie and the trailers and so on. So what's going on here? It looks like kind of a traction beam type thing that comes from the Sanctuary too. So I'm thinking maybe that the stones aren't working anymore, or he's not using the stones, or the Avengers have gotten the stones and this is at a different point in time, or something is going on. But then that kind of conflicts with the first 20 minutes of this trailer, the movie only being in the trailers. So basically my question is, why not the Space Stone? Okay, why the beam? What's going on, Russos? Russo! And then we have this sweet money shot. You've got the Trinity. You've got the Trinity of the MCU. That's what I'm gonna call them now. The Trinity of the MCU. You've got Cap. You've got Tony Stark, Iron Man. You've got Thor, Captain America, Steve Rogers, because, you know, alter egos and stuff like that. Walking towards Thanos. Now, this sticks with the whole theme of the character of the trilogies kind of being significant in this movie. With that being said, let me know your favorite trilogy in the MCU. I mean, there's only 3 characters with that movie, and that's these 3. But let me know in the comment section below what your favorite trilogy is. Personally, mine is Captain America. It's just badass. Winter Soldier is still my favorite MCU movie ever. Comment section below. And they're walking up to Thanos and Thanos is chilling like a boss. He's like, yeah, and I destroyed all of your friends. What are you gonna do? However, you do see he has a kind of double-edged sword, which you have seen with some of the toys and the promotional pictures they had for Infinity War, and I think they did have some just after Infinity War came out for Endgame. You see him with that double-edged sword, which is really cool. Also, what I find interesting about this is that he is waiting there in a very similar fashion as to how Doctor Strange waited for him when they're setting a trap. Overall, this trailer is pretty damn crazy. I mean, it still doesn't tell you anything, but it tells you so much. And what it really does is just build a bunch of hype. Like I said in my previous breakdown or trailer reaction, I think with the trailers that they're giving us, like the full actual trailers, they're trying to tell us a story. The first one was incredibly sad and absolutely sad. And it's just like, yo, what are the Avengers actually going to do? How are they going to survive this? How are they going to win this one? We've never really seen them fail so hard before in any of their movies. It was kind of win in the end. The second one was full of action and telling us, all right, maybe they do have some hope with this going on and that going on. And that, you know what, that's really cool. And this one kind of brings it together and building up on that tension and that sadness and that hypeness. And then all of the excitement, and then just boom. And you're there and you're like, I'm ready. But you think you're ready and you're not actually ready, because I'm telling you, Endgame is, I feel like it's gonna be one of the best MCU movies ever. Hold up. This is actually the money shot of this trailer, because all the Avengers and all their Guardians that haven't been unalived are there. I mean, obviously we have to include Ant-Man in that because he hasn't been classified technically yet as being an Avenger or a Guardian. What are they looking at, Russos? Russo! Also, check out Rocket's costume. It's actually fresh and new and a lot more like what the various ones he's had in the comics, and I'm feeling it. I'm really feeling this costume. I liked his look before what he had. It was very much like a tech dude, technician, someone who was ready to like heal some stuff or had a bunch of weapons. It was nice, but it's nice to see him in this actual suit. I can't wait to find out the reason why he's actually wearing this suit, or is it just going to be, I wanted a new look and we need to sell some new toys. So with that actually brings us to the end of this video. Please guys, like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, notification bell. You know what to do already. Please do it for me. Share this video with your friends if you enjoyed it, and if you did not like this video, share it with your enemies, because that means they have to suffer, look at my face and hear my voice. Hopefully they like it and they share it with someone that they like. So, you know, it's a win-win for everyone, I guess. Maybe. Share my videos. Also, check out my Instagram, it's DSPyro, as it is on YouTube as well. Link in the description box below for that as well. Check it out, behind the scenes, comic book stuff, updates, all that jazz. When you see me going to the cinema, there's updates there as well. Check it out. Videos in this area here, somewhere along the line. Watch those ones, reactions, breakdowns as well. Subscription on that face here, drawn by Mark Baker. You can also find him on Instagram as well, at Baker the Mark. Absolutely crazy dude. He is amazing artist. Anyways, dudes, I still don't have a sign off yet, so peace.